Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? It's beautiful. This day is beautiful today. I'm doing well. I took the day off, prearranged, to handle some business, handle some, do some things running around, things that I had to do. So I took the day off. So I want to tell y'all about these raccoons that's coming to my window. When I work from home, I'm in different rooms of the house, but when I'm on the top floor, which is the third floor, um, and I'm usually by the windows. So a raccoon has been coming up to the window, and the window's open. It's just a screen in there. So, um, you know, it just kind of scares me. They can't get to me because there's a screen blocking us. Nothing but a screen, actually. So the next day, two raccoons came, and I know that they're looking for food. And of course, I'm not going to feed them because I'm just not going to do that. Oh. Um, I'm just not going to feed any raccoons. So anyway, um, I screamed, and I was on the phone with a client, with a customer, I'll say, at work, and the customer laughs. They don't know what. I was like, oh my God. And the customer doesn't know you know, what's going on, what I'm screaming about or anything like that. So, um, but because this time it was two, it was one in each window, one in this window, one in that window. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then, next day or so, my next door neighbor, she has somebody knock on my door. She has somebody knock on my door, and apparently they have gotten into her home and tore a hole in her ceiling. And so she got the professionals out. So they showed me, where the raccoons. Apparently, we share a chimney. I don't know, but anyway, so he's going to come back, and it's going to cost us a pretty penny because I'm going to get my stuff done. They haven't, came into my house or anything yet, but I want to get it done so they won't come in. So we're going to take care of that. A few years ago, I did have a raccoon come in. See, on our attics are on the floor. Like a lot of people, their attics are up, up. But our attics are on the floor, and we have doors, like two doors in each room, and that's our attic. And so a few years ago, we had a problem with raccoons coming in. Even when my husband was living, the raccoons were like at that door. So if we opened the door, that they were right there. Um, and they were, like I would hit the door and they would stop and they would just be scratching at the door. So one day, so I called a professional to come and get the raccoon, and they came and got the raccoon, and apparently they let the raccoon out up the street or something because the raccoon came right back. And so I brought a raccoon cage, and put it in the attic, and I caught it myself, and we took the raccoon and we took it up by the mall before we let the raccoon out. And it was just kind of scary. It was. So this time I'm going to, leave it to the professionals, and I'm going to pay whatever, needs to be paid, and leave it at that, and get them from being able to come in. There's some place, they said if you look up, you'll see where they come in at, but I can't see any place, any opening where they could get in. I don't see any opening where they could get in. But they said there's a place, just has to be for them to get in. I don't know. But so we're going to pay them, and hopefully that'll be the end of our raccoon. I know raccoons are friendly, but and there was another time that and this was a few years ago. I was coming home, and it was dark out, and we usually go in and out our back door. So I was coming home, and two raccoons ran up to me. They ran up to me, very friendly, ran up to me, and I believe they were, asking for food. And so, it scared me, and I just screamed and dropped all my bags, ran around the front. And when I ran around the front and I went to my back door, they were out on my deck. They were right there looking at the door, still waiting on me. And I seen my cats out there. I'm like, oh my God, you know, my cats, they're out there with some of these wildlife. They all know each other, you know, because my cats, they stay outside all night. They're not house cats, but they're my cats.